Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a Lego set and hang out with you. Let me know if you can hear me fine, if you can see me. If you're a subscriber, you can throw an emote in. I'm typing in the chat on my laptop. Lashbrook is here. Hi, Lashbrook. Welcome, welcome. Oh, see, I am. I forget that when I do my mobile setup, my laptop is also the me. So I have to look towards me, which is over here, uh, instead of looking here, which is where my webcam normally is when I'm building at home. There's a little bit of echo, but I imagine you can't help that. That is most likely the room, and not, yeah. Let's see, cam mic is just that. I can go into settings a little bit. Most likely, that echo is just the fact that the ceiling is high here, and that is probably the echo that you're hearing. Desktop audio device there. Microsoft is that? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because that should be it. Yeah, I don't think that I'm going to be able to make the sound any better than it is right now. I can maybe go in here, checking my properties. No, this looks good. But yeah, I am using the built-in microphone on my, actually moving the laptop helped. Well, good. Glad to hear that. Move the laptop in. That helps some. It does show up in the here, so we'll just do this a little bit. There we go. That's good. That'll be good. I'm glad that helped. We're going to be hanging out here for a few minutes, see if anybody else wants to join us before we get going. I know that, I didn't advertise this much because I wasn't sure if it was going to work because I couldn't test until last night. And then also we have the whole thing of just the very real issue of it being the night before Christmas Eve, or as some people put it, Christmas Eve Eve. And, that isn't the most popular time to be in front of the old phone or laptop or desktop, or hey, maybe you're visiting family and you don't get as much computer time as you would because you didn't bring your laptop or your tablet. I'm going to retweet my own tweet here saying checking levels and getting ready to build. I didn't bring my headset because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to stream it all or not until I got here. And so the headset didn't make it into my luggage. But I'm using the webcam here. I occasionally use this webcam that I'm going to point at right there as audio. But since it's pointing down, I figured that might not actually be better than this one. Solve is here. Hello, Solve. Welcome, welcome. Like I said, I'm hoping a couple more people join us. If they don't, that's okay. More importantly, I'm excited to be doing this stream and to this is something to look forward to do. This Lego set I've had for a while. It is the Batman, Batwing, and Riddler Heist Lego set. Hi, dude wants his rug. Welcome, welcome. So this set is fun because sometimes you buy a Lego set and you're just going to build a big thing, right? I like these kind of sets where you're building a lot of smaller things, right? So we're building Commissioner Gordon's police car, the Gotham City police car. We are building the Riddler's helicopter. He has a helicopter. Apparently he's stealing some stuff. It's the heist. We're building the Batwing. We're building a Batman for our Batwing. And then we're also, Shazam is in this kit, and I don't know why, but he is. Ultron's here. Hi, Ultron. Welcome, welcome. Thanks everybody for being here. We're going to get building in just a moment or two, but like I said, I was going to wait a little bit, see if people wanted to come in. I got into South Carolina yesterday. I did a test stream, and I was like, you know what? Let me just test on the wireless in the bedroom that I stay in. Instead of going out into the den and plugging in to the router, let me try this. A couple of years, 2 years ago, when I didn't even check, literally 2 years ago, I brought all my gear and I set everything up and I just started streaming and it didn't work. It didn't work spectacularly. Last year, I didn't stream at all because I was like, well, that didn't work. But since then, my parents have gotten a new router, and they've gotten a new modem, and they've also gotten some sort of boosting apparatus, something that is supposed to supposedly will help boost the signal coming in. So they got that, and it's working. Um, the wireless signal is pretty stable, uh, and we haven't had any drop frames. All my testing that I did last night and testing I did today has been great. Uh, and I think we'll be okay. Even if we drop a few frames, I think it'll be okay. Um, I do benefit from the fact that at this point my mom is probably watching television or has gone to sleep, so I'm not worried about her being on the internet as well. So that should be good. I'm rocking the new Giant Bomb shirt, which I can only wear when there's not a green screen because it is this weird green, red, futuristic cyberpunk kind of design, and that's not going to work. Um, it's not going to work on the green screen. I just know it. So this came in the mail, I think Saturday. So right before I left, it came in the mail, and I was like, oh, okay. We'll get building. I hope more people join us. If they don't, that's okay. I'll be all right with that. I understand people with families, or they're just getting some work done, or maybe they're still traveling. Maybe they had to work over the weekend, and today was the day they worked, and they got the opportunity to go. Hello, Crazy Like Fox. Welcome. It's been a little while. Happy to have you here. Um, Maybe today was just the day that people were like, okay, now we can travel. So that's okay. As I said, I promoted it today, but I didn't really, I didn't know that far ahead of time. So we built Commissioner Gordon. One thing I want to point out with Commissioner Gordon, let's see if I can put it up there. So here's Commissioner Gordon. He's great. He's got frumpy frown, and then he's also got bemused, like he's got a bemused smirk. I mean, no, that's not gonna work. Yeah, bemused smirk. I think we're gonna go bemused smirk. And then the other thing I want to point out is, so they put on the front of his pants here, or his legs, they put some material on there, like built into it and painted it. So it looks like he's wearing a trench coat. He's wearing the full coat. But they didn't do that on the back. So it just looks like he has tails in the front and his coat just ends. And look, is anyone going to notice that but me? No. But then why put it on the front if you're not going to put it on the back? There's another thing we'll point out when we deal with minifigs. One of my favorite things about minifigs, and I keep looking forward. I apologize. I'm going to try to remember to look here. We'll go like this. Maybe that'll help me look forward. There we go. One thing, because we'll build Batman. So here is Batman's face, right? You can see Batman. We're going to go with the no emotion Batman right there. Okay, so there's Batman, right? There's Batman's face. See if we can get focused. Great. There's Batman's face. You see he's got these two bars over his head, and you're like, what are those bars? Why does Batman have silver eyebrows? Well, those are Batman's eyes. Now, not Batman's eyes when you put the helmet on, because the dimensions, the way it works is, now he's got dark eyes there, and where his actual eyes are is the nose part of the mask, because they can't actually make the mask to go over the regular eyes, so they have to add in this like marker. Not that you would have Batman without his helmet on anyway, but it is a very odd element of it. It's not the first time I've done a Batman for one of these. Okay, we got a cloth cape. There are two cloth capes. There's this one, and then there's a white one for Shazam. So Shazam gets a cape as well, which is pretty fun. Harold is now hosting. Thank you very much for the hosting, Harold. I appreciate that. A little delay there on showing up on stream. Harold, thank you so much. Welcome, Harold. Happy to have you here. Welcome to everybody, of course. I keep looking this way. I gotta look where chat is, and that's where the camera is. I'll get used to it, and then next week when I stream again back uh in New York, I'll be looking in the wrong place. I'll get used to it for two. Because I am streaming tonight. I will be streaming Thursday night, Boxing Day evening. So we'll do Boxing Day stream, which will be fun. And then I won't be streaming on Saturday because I'll be traveling. Now, I land at 7 o'clock, so I theoretically might be able to get home in time to stream. But I won't be set up, and I'll also be tired, and I don't want to do it. So instead, I'm going to stream this coming Sunday because I'm not working. You just got home. You spent the day at Busch Gardens. I saw some photos you posted, Harold. I hope you had a ball at Busch Gardens, and I'm glad you're here for the stream. Um, also, um, Commissioner Gordon has a gun, and of course, the police and Batman have guns. It's not the Batman part of it that's weird. It's the Lego part of it. This is a Lego, just a Lego person with a gun. That's just the thing. I don't know. But yeah, since Harold had an adventurous day at Busch Gardens, y'all in chat, because there's a few of you here tonight, did you do anything fun today? Were you traveling? You did catch Road Quest on the way home. Good episode. It was a good episode, Harold. We'll talk about that in a minute, because I do want to hear, because I'll chat about that a bit, but I do want to hear from people if they did anything fun today. Now, myself. Pat Baer takes his show on the road. Indeed, Epic Open World. Hi, Epic Open World. I saw the Space Wizard movie today. It was fine. Yes. So for me, myself, I didn't do anything. I ate food. I replied to emails. I, much like Lashbrook, watched the Giant Bomb content. I played a lot of Hearthstone because I don't have a lot of games on my laptop, but I do have Hearthstone on my laptop, but I also have Hearthstone on my phone. So I played Hearthstone on my phone while watching Giant Bomb content today. Jam is here. Welcome, Jam. We've got a great crew of folks here. I'm so happy to see you all. Welcome, welcome. Oh, that's so awesome. You're lurking away to play some Destiny. We got two hosts. Thank you for the hosts. Really appreciate it. But so nice of y'all. And yeah, please lurk while you're doing stuff. That's totally cool. You saw Space Wizards 9 yesterday. There you go. Yes, the old Space Wizards. Somebody I don't really know on Twitter, but I know of them. I just don't know them super well. Was like did a joke about all the different phrases and words you need to mute because the obvious ones like Star Wars, but you also need to go space battle and you need to be like this person's name spelled wrong and all this and it was the thing where I'm like, I know you're joking, but also yeah, you do need to do that because people are cruel. And some people are just clueless, right? Some people aren't cruel. They're not trying to spoil things. They just really want to talk about it. And they don't know how to talk about it in ways that couldn't possibly ruin it for people. Or they're like, whatever. If you wanted to see it, you'd see it. What it, in my opinion, is rude, especially this time of year. Now there are folks this time of year with plenty of time who are going out of their way to go see movies and to engage with things and to be out there and doing their thing. I totally get that. But there are other people who are like, I'm real busy right now. I don't have time for the movies. I can't imagine, I'm going to get caught up on a lot of video stuff this week because I don't have a lot going on. I'm in visiting my folks, and I'm happy to do that. It also was raining when I landed, and it rained all day today. And I guess the weather's going to get better, but it wasn't like today didn't feel like a day where I was like, hey, let's go do something, that'll come. I know I have Thursday plans. I have plans on Thursday to go out. I know my dad and I are going to go to lunch. One of our traditions is we go to a restaurant that's also a bar that has a lunch special of baby back ribs. And look, I don't get ribs in New York that often. There's a place, they're good. There are a few places that do Texas style real well near me. This place here, we're talking sauce, okay? We're not talking like slow. We're talking covered and smothered in barbecue sauce. That's the way I like it. It's the way I was introduced to baby back ribs. I know it's not everyone's favorite style, and you can have your favorite style, and you can do your thing. I just know that as far as ribs, that's how I like my baby back ribs. I like them with a big potato. I'll eat them with French fries. I'll eat them just on their own. But I'm gonna get a full rack of ribs on Thursday, and it's kind of fun because my dad and I'll go and we'll chat, and it's a good way for us to kind of connect. One year my mom came. Most of the time it's just me and my dad going for ribs, and it's kind of our thing. And it's a thing that I know I'm going to do on Thursday, and I'm looking forward to it. Maybe we'll do it on Friday, but I think we'll do it on Thursday. And I believe that you're more of a dry rub guy. Harold, I get it. I understand it. Folks, if you're just joining us for the first time, this is a weird setup. This is not my traditional setup. I am not in my home in New York City. I am currently in my parents' house in South Carolina. They moved here long after I had moved away. This is not my childhood home, but it is a spot that has a folding table and better than they used to have internet. Brought my laptop, brought one webcam. Pat is in a very yellow room. This is an epic world. Yes, the walls are an off-white-ish yellow. The table is a gray. I've got some lights going in here to help with some of the lighting. Welcome to Rib Talk, right? Uh, yeah, I mean, like, look, do I like a spare rib? Of course I like a spare. I like a good spare rib. Of course I do. Uh, am I more interested? Oh, Crazy Like Fox just cheered 400 bits, and a few people got some rewards because of that, because it's the holidays, and they're still doing the holiday rewards, so you can get some emotes. A reminder, folks, there's also cave points, which we're calling them, which are just channel points. Things like asking questions, and then you get them for watching. You get more as a subscriber, but you get them as a regular viewer as well. You can do silly things like change emotes around for 24 hours, which is kind of fun. You can put a Santa hat. I can do that, and I'm going to do that right now. I get all of the points. You can also unlock an emote. You can modify emotes, as I said. I'm going to put a Santa hat on me. And then, yeah, there's me. Put a Santa hat on me, on the Lego me, which is fun. Now, I could just pay Xandra to do that and do something like, for the month of December, I've modified my emotes. But like, I found it takes a little too long for those to get processed. If you're an affiliate, if you're a partner, it seems to be faster. But for affiliates, it does seem to take a while to get your emotes updated. So I'm not going to do that modification because it just seems to take too long to get them approved. And I don't want that. You're going to step away for a bit and be back later. All right, Harold. Well, we'll see you soon. Thanks for coming in, and thank you for hosting. See you in a bit. I know you just got home. But yeah, bits and coins, always appreciated. Thank you so much for cheers. That is always helpful. And of course, gifting subs also gets people random emotes. That's a fun way of doing that. There is the old leaderboard, the gift sub leaderboard, and the bits and coins leaderboard. Mode approval guy. That is a Twitch job I should apply for, right? Yeah. You just go and go, well, that's not stolen art. That's fan art. Okay. No. Gross. No. What? I don't get this one. Okay, whatever. But yeah. I'm sure they've got a folder or a Dropbox of ones they wish they had not received. All of mine have been approved, and 2 of the 3 of mine are just parodies of properties that I don't own the rights to and don't have any reason to parody them. and maybe they're parodies. I guess. I guess they're parodies. Whatever. The Bear Cave. I'm set on Bear Cave. Bear Cave. I'm definitely set on. The Scythe and which is just Death Scythe me and the Lego me are a little more like Yellow Pat and Robot Pat, right? So I don't have a great tool to apply stickers right now. But we are applying stickers, and it will be okay because I'm just using the brick separator. This kit did come with a brick separator. Don't say it out loud. Yeah, right. Whatever. If I got to modify it even more, we'll modify it. So I'm using just the edge of the brick separator. Now you do have the decals for Lego are great in that they are you can remove them and reapply them. And also, as you know, I'm not too worried. I'm not too worried when it comes to that. As long as it looks good on the kit, I'm fine. We're just building a cop car, whatever. It's cool. Need something for Commissioner Gordon to ride. But yeah, there's some decals on this kit, and they're pretty fun. And that's easy enough there. Yeah, I didn't do much today. I'm expecting to probably do a little bit more as the week goes on, but also I just slept in. I ate good food. I hung out with my folks a bit. I got caught up on video stuff. Like it was nice. That's what this is for, you know. Like uh, I saw something today said like nobody needs your work email. You reply to that work email. To which like while I understand the sentiment of good times and good friends and being with people, as someone who is unemployed, like I'm not expecting anyone to read my resume. But did I send out resumes today? Yes, I did. Because I would like a job. And I would love to get confirmation of someone wanting to meet with me at some point next year to talk about me working for them. Like that would be swell. It would be really cool if somebody wanted to like okay. All right. I'm looking at this here, and these seem to be off. So I'm gonna do. No, okay. So that looks okay. It looks like I missed a piece somewhere. I did miss a piece somewhere, but that'll be okay. Nice thing about Lego is you can fix your mistakes. If you're just like this is wrong, uh, you know you can separate, especially with the brick separator, which is a fantastic tool for that job. While I was looking for a job, the goal was application resume a day. It's crazy like Fox. Yeah, I mean I'm in a similar boat. Some days not much, some days a lot. I'll send a plethora. Some days I'm getting in that order of really taking my time with cover letters, really being detailed. Other times like I'm just doing like easy apply and not doing a cover letter because it didn't need it, and or my cover letter is just the one I've been editing a lot and me just editing it again and just doing cut and pasting. Uh, it depends on the job and what I'm applying for. But I'm still like sending things out. And hey, if no one looks at it, no one looks at it. That's fine. I also sent a message out to somebody because I was unsure if they were still interested in doing some work with me in February on a thing. And I sent it out literally saying, "Hey, I'm putting this out there. You don't have to reply to this now, but it would be great if you replied to this before the end of the year, because then we'll only have 2 months to figure this out because this will be the end of February. So let me know." Like I'm not putting a lot of pressure on them, but I'm also like aware that like I need to know because it is basically I am trying to find out that if a group that is that it has a booth at PAX East wants me to work in that booth or not, because it changes the conversation of what PAX is for me. If I'm working a booth, well then I need to make sure that my panels are in the evening so that I'm not trying to take time off from work, because that might not be cool or it might be fine. But I'm also like gotta make sure that I like figure out my travel and figure out my accommodations. And I need to do that soon because PAX East is the end of February. So, like, if it ain't good and they're not interested in me doing that, I need to know sooner than later so I can start planning accordingly. I would have loved to have this figured out before now. That has not been the case, and that's okay. Um, I mentioned this before. This is not my childhood home. I grew up in Connecticut. My folks retired here like 5 years ago, something like that. A few years ago, when my folks retired, and I come down here for Christmas to spend time with them, which is fantastic and really awesome. That I'm able to come and do that. Originally, while I was employed, when I thought I would be employed for the rest of this year, because I was working from home, well, I could do that from here. So that's why we planned this to be a whole week. I probably still would have done it the same, even if I had known that my job was ending. But uh, it's a little bit of a bummer because I feel a little stagnant here. Like I'm not making any moves or doing anything because I don't have anything to work on. It's gonna be okay though. I'm gonna try to reapply this because this one decal I am going to try to reapply properly only because it is a license plate. So I'm going to try to get it right. This license plate let's see if you can read that there. It says go to jail. The next convention is CES Bat. Just go run the shows for Jeff Bacalar as he learns about the latest in refrigerator technology. Yeah, right? No, I've never been to CES. I've never had a reason to go. Um, if a company or group or person wanted to hire me to work at CES, I certainly would be interested in having the conversation. I am willing and able and interested in going to conventions as an employee and not just as a presenter, panel host, and producer. It makes the con different if you're working, certainly, but I'm definitely interested in doing that. Basically in conversation with that. I'm going to take a drink of water. Salud. All right. So this goes on here. So this is our back bumper and our license plate that's going on the back of our car. This car's coming together. Basically, bag one is the car, and then bag two is the helicopter. So the expectation for tonight will be to get through, I think, 2 bags, and that'll be good. And that'll split. They'll basically, because I believe that there are, let's see, there are 4 bags. Yeah, so there are 4 bags. So we'll split the bags. We'll go by bag as far as the streams go. And kind of split it up that way. I don't have any backups in case like this took 1 stream to build. I wouldn't expect it to. My basic plan would be like, if there's lots of time, like we'll fill time with hanging out. Also on Thursday, if applicable, I can talk about anything I got for Christmas if it's applicable to the stream. I don't expect it to be, other than like I expect an Amazon gift card. And so I can talk about like what I can like buy something with my Amazon gift card. I think I know what I'm going to get. I have a little bit of credit. CES Outlast E3, that'll be sad and very hilarious. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, the tech world still likes a good con. So, I mean, there are a lot of international like cell phone and technology conventions that are thriving. CES is like an interesting one compared to those, but yeah, I can see that. I think E3 needs to be changed pretty considerably. I think that it needs to go through modifications. It needs to understand better what people like about that convention and what people, as far as the public facing goes. And if it does want to become that, I think it is the people, with boots need to kind of change what they're doing and what their game plan is. Um, it certainly worked for other folks. Uh, the whole basic premise has worked. So I don't know. Oops. Uh, like you think about uh, there are European conventions that have private, media days, and they have public days. Uh, oh, cool. Unrunning. Unwitting got some moats. One Crazy Like Fox donated. Yeah, that's right. Bits and coins, or renewing a sub, or becoming a sub for the first time, or gifting a sub. All unlock some emotes for the rest of the year. I think that are holiday themed, uh, and that's pretty cool. All right, pretty excited about this so far. Oh yeah, I was saying like yeah, I got some Amazon credit, and then I think I'm gonna get a gift card, and I'm not 100% sure what I'm gonna be getting. Uh, for my wish list, I have like an idea, but I'm not 100% sure what I will be getting. But I'll pick up a model kit certainly for the stream. I have a few things waiting at home. We're still working on that Quanta, and I have a Exia waiting to be built. And we still have, I bought it at Anime NYC, just haven't had a chance to build it yet. We've got the, what do you call it? Oh, the Gogeta model kit to build. And then we also have Yamcha's vehicle, the Mighty Mouse, Yamcha's Mighty Mouse car to build, and we gotta build that before sometime. I don't know when. Probably won't be the end of the year. It'll probably be next year, but we'll do it next year. Um, I want to point this out for folks that are like my age, maybe a little older, maybe a little younger. You may remember this piece. Anytime I find this piece in a kit, I point it out because I loved this piece as a kid. As a kid, these were lasers. Any vehicle had lasers on them because this went on the front. This is like we're putting this on part of the front of our car, but in ships, build your own spaceships, stuff like that. These were lasers. That was very important to me as a youth, is to have these. And now it's just part of the front of this car, I guess. Wait. Scroll back here. Did I miss a step? I did miss a step. I was like, how do I get this grill on? I think they used an official. That's what they used official space kits. I believe so. Yes. If they didn't use the official ones, it became official to me. But I'm pretty sure those were lasers back in the day. It's possible they weren't. I'm pretty sure they were. Put that there so you can see it. This isn't. Yeah, I'm trying to remember about the camera. I apologize, folks. Also, I have to remember that like I'm not mic'd up, so I gotta pointedly project. Dad's watching football right now, and I can hear it a little bit. If you hear any news or sports in the background, that is my dad watching football, and my mom was I think watching something in her bedroom, or their bedroom. But my dad is watching football, and I was going to be displacing him from watching football, and he was going to have to watch in. Your voice is coming through just fine. Thank you very much, Epic Open World. I appreciate that. Yeah, Lastbrook was in here early when we were starting the stream, and I had the laptop a little too far away, and so this is helping some. Also, this room, the ceilings aren't high, but there's not this isn't like a full room of stuff. So we do get an echo in here because I'm using just the mic on my webcam. Uh, Now that I know I can stream from here, the next time I do it, I will bring my headset. But I was looking to take as little amount of tech with me as possible, so I didn't bring my iPad because I don't need my iPad Mini. I tried to reduce the amount of things I was going to need to bring with me for this trip, uh, just so it's easier because I don't check any bags, so I have to go through security and do all the carry-ons. My flight down here was fine. I actually got upgraded to even more room seat because there was a family that wanted to sit together. So they upgraded me to a better seat. I got on the plane in Group A instead of Group D. So that was great. So I mean, I didn't have to fight for overhead space. I didn't have to give them my bag, even though I wasn't going to check it, just so that they, so that like didn't have to go through that hassle, which is always nice. Was able to uh, get on the plane at a reasonable time. Flight went well. There was some turbulence. So this is a really weird, like, it's not a problem. Like but I haven't had this. So flight from New York to my folks don't live near Charlotte, Charleston, I should say, not Charlotte. My folks don't live necessarily near Charleston, but Charleston is a good airport with direct flights to New York, so we use that airport. Um, so my folks just have to drive a little bit and come pick me up, right? So we do that, and that's fine. But the flight isn't that long. It's not that long at all. And there was turbulence. So they gave us our drinks, and then they stopped, and then the flight attendants gave us our snacks. But it took so long that I like kind of finished my drink, and so I didn't want my snack, and I was just like, well, I guess I get pretzels when I land. And I was just like, I'm so used to just eating anything on the plane as fast as possible that I was like, this is weird. I'm going to put these in my bag, I guess. I don't know. Also JetBlue often gives you a couple snacks here and there. They're good. I appreciate that these columns that we might use for like a railing in a house, we're using for the car here. Obviously, we're not expecting Commissioner Gordon to be putting a perpetrator in his car, especially because this apparently seems to be a one-seater. This car is designed for one person, apparently. So it is not meant. It is meant for high-speed pursuit, I guess, and not meant for uh, detaining anyone. Do you have to pay for snacks? Irish Airlines make you pay for those. So Epic Open World, JetBlue does complimentary drink of soda or coffee or whatever, and a snack, like which used to be the peanuts or whatever. Now it's like pretzels or Cheez-Its or like potato chips that aren't made out of potato; they're made out of some other vegetable. They do that, and then if you want to order like a meal, you have to pay. So that's on for JetBlue specifically. That's for their 2-hour flights and also their like 5-hour flights. So I often end up buying something on the plane if I'm going to like Seattle because I like flying JetBlue New York to Seattle. That's my preferred airline. It doesn't always work that way, but it is my preferred one. Um, so I know that some airlines have taken out snacks completely. They only do a complimentary drink. JetBlue is my favorite preferred airline because one reason and one reason only. Um, the Wi-Fi generally good. That's not the main reason. The main reason is that in New York, in JFK, which is the airport I go to, their terminal is an international terminal, so they do not close their security line. Often, airlines, which makes sense, if their first flight is at 6 a.m., then they might not have their security line open for that terminal until like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. So if you are trying to get there early for a flight, you may be stuck waiting to get to security. But because JetBlue's terminal is open 24 hours a day because of international flights, Uh, it doesn't close down a security line. So it is an easier experience, in my opinion. Uh, and I've had a lot of very good luck with JetBlue as an airline. Some of their planes aren't my favorite. The planes you get on your 2 hour flight aren't like the newest planes, but their cross country flights are usually really solid. Uh, Harold, welcome back. Happy to see you here, my friend. We'll take a pause for the cause in a moment or two. I'll talk about ways you can support the stream if that's something you'd like to do, and then we'll get into some anime talk. Um, but first and foremost, I do want to say, Harold, since you're back, we'll talk very briefly about Road Quest. Now, folks, if you're not familiar with Road Quest, it is a web series. Does the plane fly and not crash to the ground? That's the most important thing. That is important. You're not wrong. Um, uh, so, uh, so Road Quest is a web series by the folks at Loading Ready Run. Last year, they went on an epic road trip, 3 cars, 6 participants with a bunch of cameras. And in some instances, they were given directions of what they're doing. And in other instances, they just kind of do what they just had moments to kind of explore. They're all funny people, they all interact well. And they're just going up the Yukon and British Columbia in Canada. And it's beautiful looking. It's a fantastic experience for that. And then today's episode was a 2 part thing. There was the issues they had with one of their cars, and probably the best case scenario and worst case scenario person for it to happen to, but somehow both. And then also they were supposed to go down a road that was going to be a nightmare road, like very bumpy and not fun, and they just decided not to do it. Which, why wouldn't they? They should have done that another earlier. But yeah, they basically in this episode just decided, you know what? No, we're not going to do that. We're going to do this other thing instead, and I don't know how that's going to work, but I'm really interested in seeing. It's a fun series. It's fun people interacting. It is, yeah, it's a good time. If you know them from their streaming stuff and their web videos or internet video stuff, it's great. If you don't know them, I still think it's entertaining because you kind of get to know them as some of them get to know each other better, which is pretty fun. Uh, Lashbrook says, when I flew to Florida, I found out that Southwest handles in-flight entertainment via an app on your phone after you buy Wi-Fi. I had to hurriedly download the Kindle app while we were still on the tarmac. Oh, that's annoying. That's really annoying. It handles it via an app on your phone. Yeah, that's really frustrating. If you're like, I don't want to do any of that. Get out of here. I had an annoying enough time with the. I mean, look, free Wi-Fi. I was running into an issue with the free Wi-Fi on the JetBlue flight down. Didn't work the whole time, and then it worked. But so one thing. Never flown Southwest. America is not great. So for me, I've flown United. I don't hate United. I've flown Delta. Delta, I've been hit or miss. Southwest, once demanded that I buy a seat next to me. Now, they've done this in the past. They will do this quite often because seats are not assigned if you are a heavy-set person. They will sometimes they will wait to see if someone who's sitting next to you is going to complain, but other times they might ask you to buy the seat next to you. That is a thing they do, and if you refuse, they have every right, because of course they have legitimately have every right any time to ask you to leave. So I will not fly Southwest again after they bullied me into buying a second seat, because so the thing that y'all know about me is that I'm a passionate person. Sometimes that passion is talking about an anime that I really like, and sometimes that passion is yelling at people for being fools. And I know that about myself. I knew that if I didn't just pay the money, that I was going to lose my mind and yell and make a big scene and be ejected from the plane and possibly detained. I know that about myself. I will make a scene, and you can't make a scene on an airplane. So I didn't make a scene. Instead, paid their blood money and said, okay, well, you have lost yourself a customer. And that is the best I can do. But I'll never fly Southwest again. And if, sometimes you don't get to choose because I have been I've benefited enough in my life. I've been blessed enough in my life that occasionally people are like, we want to fly you out for this thing. And I say, great, I have frequent flyer, like TrueBlue points with JetBlue. I would love to use JetBlue. Here are the other airlines that I would be happy to fly out. Here's my preferred airport. Here's the airport that is very difficult for me to get to, and I would love to not fly out of it. I make those kind of mentions. Oh, if you're going to be taking the train, here's my Amtrak number, blah, blah. I do make sure to say it would be great if it was not in any way a connection with Southwest. Because sometimes to save money, you might fly on two different airlines. You might like have a connection and get a different airline because it's just cheaper. Or because you're trying to get to a place that's hard to get to. And that's the price you pay. I understand that. Okay, so we are done with, but yeah, I had just such a bad experience with them that I would love to never, ever fly Southwest again. Okay, so we're going to open up bag 2. We got through bag 1. It's time for bag 2. We got a few extra pieces because Lego is great about that. But we've got Commissioner Gordon's cop car. There is no, these doors do not open because this is not like the main thing. So if you want Commissioner Gordon out of there, you got to take the roof off, which I didn't think about when I put it together. But yeah, there's no swinging. There's no tricks to this. It's just pop this off, pop him out. But we'll leave him in there for now because it's fine to leave him in there. But yeah, I have been... well, I try to do JetBlue when I can because I just like that airline. Generally prefer that airline. And believe me, I also have an aisle seat for that. Always happy about the aisle seat because I'm a big gentleman. And so sometimes, you got to stick your leg out there. Now, that didn't happen on the flight down because I did have the benefit of the even more seats, which was great. I'll try to open this. Try to get this plastic opened so you're not hearing it. But we're building the Riddler's helicopter. Enigma. Edward Nigma. Enigma. That's his name. His name is Edward Nigma. I like this. This is part of a helicopter, but also clearly a recycled piece for some sort of a tower or other structure. I love when you can just see a Lego piece and go, I know what you also are. Obviously, we don't have lightsabers in this kit, but so many lightsabers, you see the lightsaber piece in other construction of other kits, and it always makes me chuckle when I'm like, no, I know what that's supposed to be. I know what that's from. We're going to build Edward Nigma here. Let's see. So we gotta get. He's got a crowbar and he's got a fun hat. He's also got a crowbar. Okay. So normally I would do a lot of knolling, but there's not a lot of pieces for this, and also like my setup, just isn't really attuned to it. Also, a little peek behind the curtain from me, Pat Baer. Knolling off stream means that is good because I have thankful Lego has gotten better about reusing those pieces, makes kits a tiny bit cheaper. Yes, crazy. It also makes replacement parts easier to find, right? Because you now have a more opportunity to get them. And yes, Solf, I was saying Enigma. Edward Nigma. His last name is Nigma. His first name is Edward, and the first letter is E. I was not saying anything untoward. I was saying that his name is a pun because he's the Riddler and he's an enigma. Now, when I first became aware of Batman comics, I did not know what an enigma was. And when I learned what an enigma was, I was like, that's terrible. But I liked it. So it's a very comic book name. You're right. Yes, it is. Classic comic book name. So he's got only one face for Edward here, the Riddler, his riddle there, and then it's not a crowbar. It's an ankh, like a staff. It's a staff, not an ankh, but it is basically a crowbar. But I think it's supposed to. I mean, it's a crowbar in this sense because he is performing a heist. He is stealing a safe, but also I think it's supposed to be more than that. I don't know. Look, I don't know why Shazam's in this book. Batman in the Batwing can definitely handle Riddler in a helicopter. A man who is not known for piloting a helicopter. I think it'll be okay. But for some reason, Shazam is in this. This might be a comic book of some note that I just don't know the reference to, which is always a possibility because, I know some stuff, but I don't know everything. All right, let's find the piece we need here. One of the benefits of, as I said, nulling. One of the things with nulling is that when you properly null, like it's just you do it very fast. But one of the benefits of doing of that is that you can just find the pieces you need very quickly, as opposed to what I'm doing now, which is just looking very intently at all the pieces, and then as you build things, it becomes way easier to find them because you have less pieces in your pile. Which is why when people just like take everything and just dump it all out, no thanks. Some people are built like that. They can rip all the bags open, dump it all, and then to me that's just like adding just another element of difficulty, another layer of difficulty that I frankly do not need in my life. Epic says, random thought. I bet the hardest part of writing Batman comics media with the Riddler is coming up with good riddles to torture Batman with. Yes, if I was said, hey Pat, write a Riddler story, I would ask if there was anyone on staff who had a riddle they really wanted. Anyone that my DC contact knew really had a riddle they wanted to be in the show. The comic. I would be like, hey, is there something that we didn't get to use or people want to do or whatever? And just be like, because I'm not a riddle master. How do you serve 8 apples among 10 people? I assume you serve 8 of them, and then to the other people you say, how about them apples? That's not a riddle answer. That's a joke answer. I don't know. It's a joke answer. It's that you just don't serve 2 of them. Like, how about them apples? Boom. All right, so let's see. We're going to finish this one step here, and then you make applesauce. Okay, you make applesauce. There you go. That is a better answer than the answer I gave. All right, so we are going to finish this up here. Now, I have to look. One of the fun things you can do is when you're like, I'm not sure if this is how it should look, is you can sometimes see how it looks on the kit and say, can't see that there. Basically, I think it's this color, but it could be the gold ones. I'm going to assume the gold is in different parts of the kit, and I don't know. But if I'm using the wrong color, that's fine. Sometimes I have found that like it's either my eyesight or the color they're using on there, but sometimes it doesn't line up. Anyway, hey, it's a time for a pause for the cause. This is the part of the stream where I say hello to you. And I say, here are various ways you can support the stream if that's something you'd like to do. First and foremost, if you're a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave emote, you can throw the Lego emote in the stream right now, let the people know. I did my modification using my channel points. Take a look at channel points, see if there's anything you want to do there. Thank you for being a subscriber. It means the world to me. It means I can keep doing stuff like this. Uh, if you would like to gift a sub, or you would like to become a subscriber yourself using your Twitch Prime coin, or what you get for having Amazon, or Cash Money, that's also appreciated. That means the world to me. If you can't, I understand that. But that's okay. But being here is important as well. We're going to keep building. I am going to take a moment or two before we get into the whole the build stream here. I also have a Patreon, and you're more than welcome to join that. I'm going to link my Patreon here. This takes a little longer than normal to get my Nightbot stuff up because I am using this is a 13-inch monitor, and I'm splitting it in half between my Streamlabs and my OBS, so it makes moving things around a little tougher. But I hope you are okay with that. You can also donate. Now, bits and coins are always appreciated here on Twitch. I welcome them. Oh, that's very fun. Ultron used your channel points to put a reindeer nose on the bear cave. That is a unique one. I haven't seen that before. That's fun. I also have some donation links. You're more than welcome to do that. Under no obligation to do any of that. Just being here is rad, and I appreciate it very much. Bits and coins or donations or Patreon or whatever, those are just things you can do if you'd like to, and you're under no obligation to do so. People sometimes ask, hey, what if you built this, or you should build that? And often I'll say, oh, I'll take a look at that. And then sometimes I also say, if you want to buy it, I'll build it. Like, I'll put it on my wish list, and you can buy it, and then I'll build it, and it'll jump the line. Now, this is something I bought myself because it just looked cool, and I wanted to build it. But I often I have stuff on my wish list, and then people purchase those things. Small things like the high grade 144 scale high grade from G Gundam. That's $14 right now with Prime. That's a good little deal there. Some various kits from ships from One Piece in that list. 100 scale model kits, some Lego stuff, some plastic kits which are glue kits from Initial D. That would be fun. I did that once. I'd love to do that again. Some real grades, some high grades, some master grades, a bunch of different things. Um, uh, if you pick it up, I will build it on the stream, and that is my and it jumps the line. It jumps through the queue. I have a few things bought on my Amazon wish list that I will be building very soon. As soon as we get back and when finishing up, and there's a little bit of backlog as far as that goes, which is awesome. Believe me, on a personal level, it is so nice to know that I have a bunch of things waiting for me, because one of the worst feelings is when I'm like, okay, well, I have 6 hours this week and I have about 3 hours of building materials. So hopefully something comes, or I'm going to go get something, and hopefully it'll get here soon. Uh, and it means a lot when there's stuff ready for me to build. Again, under no obligation to do that. Just being here rules. It's so nice when folks are here watching the streams and hanging out. If you feel like chatting, feel free to chat. If you don't feel like chatting, no need to. USA Gundam store is another way to support. You could buy a gift card on there and send me the code, and then I will use it. USA Gundam store sends me a bunch of stuff to get deals. I'd probably buy something that they're pre-ordering. I'll mention my Discord right now. We are going to get back to building in just a moment or two, but I do like to take a time now and again to just do a little self-promotion in the middle. This will be the point where other streamers would run an ad. I run an ad at the beginning of the stream, at the end of the stream. I don't run one in the middle because it's anybody's first minute watching the stream. You could be just joining us, so I want to make sure that I'm not interrupting your time with me and with us. So I have a Discord. Feel free to join that. I post photos of builds. People post links to things they're working on. It's a good little place. And then I guess we'll talk about. I'm going to drink some water. I got some water here. This is my time to remind you that you could drink water now if you wanted to. Hopefully, a reminder that maybe it's time to drink a little water or stretch or do whatever you want to do. But thanks for hanging out. And for this, we're going to keep going in a minute. All right. Oh, also, if you do goose, it says honk. And if you do honk, it says goose. Because, Lord Crashington's here. Hi, Lord Crashington. Happy to have you here. All right. So, it's the end of the year. So, there's not a lot of anime. Also, a show that I normally talk about on Mondays, I didn't watch. I am still behind on One Piece, and that's okay. Today was the last episode of Didn't I Say to Make My Abilities Average in the Next Life, which ended up being a good isekai. Is it the best isekai of the year? No. Is it so nice to have an isekai that is not about a harem or an overpowered dude who all the ladies love and isn't maybe a harem show but definitely feels like one, or the character is mean or awful, as in two of the other isekai that came out this season? Oh, it's so nice. Mile is weird and fun, and I like her a lot. There was a little bit of drama in the last two episodes. There was a moment where it looked like, this might become a drama at the end for no reason. It's okay. It wasn't that dramatic, and it was over pretty fast. There was a thing, and if folks who watched some anime in the 90s may recognize the name of a move that Mile tried to use and then renamed quickly. She called it the magic gun, but she started to try to call it the spirit gun, and it was the spirit gun from Yu Yu Hakusho. There's a bunch of anime like references in that scattered through that show because this was a character that in her previous life liked anime before she died and was reincarnated into a fantasy world. The show does have some drama moments, but it has a lot of heart, a lot of fun moments. There was a little tiny there where a character that we were just really introduced to late is like, no, we actually have to stop and talk about how she just beat 3 elder dragons. We have to talk about it. And they're like, no, we don't. That's our friend. She doesn't want to talk about it, so we're not going to talk about it. And it was nice. It was like a nice, sweet moment. That show is surprisingly just like cute and fun. And as I said, the isekai genre, like, I've said this before in some other conversations and some other video stuff. So the isekai genre is started off as female-led. One could argue that the beginning of the genre of isekai is actually Alice in Wonderland. That might be the first isekai. But it's just traveling to a different world. And the popular ones were female-focused and start Fushigi, Inuyasha, like those were shows with female leads. And it wasn't until, nobody really knows when the switch happened. But the switch happened, it became more of a offshoot of shonen and had more dudes in the leads. But to have it be a female-centric adventure show that's cute and funny. The thing that hurts the show the most, in my opinion, is that there are a couple episodes that don't matter, and they happen at episodes 8 and 9 don't really matter, and that's a bummer. It just felt like it kind of meandered before it stuck the landing, and I do think it stuck the landing, but let's just say it did meander. So it kept it from being one of my favorite shows of the year. it's a good one. It is a fun one. I would recommend it. And if people are asking to explore the world of isekai, I would recommend that because I think that it succeeds in being a fun story that is aware of the tropes that it is presenting and has fun with it. Um, and yeah. So a show that I've talked about this a few weeks now. Um, Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun. This show is really fun, and here's the real thing. So I didn't watch it at first because I was like, the art style didn't really appeal to me. It's a comedy about a kid who is human but ends up going to a demon school, and he's got to like pretend that he is a demon. And I was like, I don't really care. And I started seeing clips, and it looked kind of fun. And then I realized I do need to support this show. Now, I do like it. I should say that right off the bat. I should say I genuinely am interested in this show, and I like watching it. So that should hopefully, like, I do want to make that clear. I like it. I like this show. But also, I want to be a champion of it because it is a double length run of a comedy. And you don't get that in anime. Anime shows, generally, if you get 24, 25, 26 episodes, you're a shonen. You're an action show. Maybe you're a drama. Comedies are lucky to get 12 episodes. Sometimes they get 13. If you're a romantic comedy, you might get a rush order and get your 13 or your 12 and then get a second season like We Never Learned had 2 seasons in 1 year. So you might get that. But for a show to get that many episodes, like have that many ordered, to know it's going to be a double length season is really rare. And even if I didn't love the show, like I don't know if I love it, but I like it. Welcome to Demon School, I really want to support because as a person that does comedy, it's so nice to know that like a comedy show is giving room to breathe. Like right now, the show is dealing with the battle groups, which are basically like after school clubs. And as an audience member, we can see where Aruma is going to end up, right? We know he's going to end up with the nice demon that doesn't have a lot of magic, that is uh, trying to make devices to help out other demons. It's a very nice demon. We know that our guy's going to end up with him. And if the show only had like 12 episodes, it would have already been wrapped up. But instead, we've had 1.5 episodes already of like figuring things out and having room for gags and having room to see things. Like they went around to check out all the different clubs that they might join, and there were like a bunch of gags that happened and that like had time to pay off and had time to be recurring gags, and like it was really fun to watch because everybody knows they've got breathing room to tell the story, and that's really rare. Uh, and it was like really nice. So look, I'm not saying everyone's going to love Welcome to Demon School, but also I don't talk about shows that I think everyone's going to love. And I also don't watch shows I don't watch every show. I watch the shows that are interesting to me. This show, I wish I had been watching it all season. I'm annoyed with myself that I hadn't. Um, and yeah, I would say if you're looking for a show, it's the end of the season. New stuff isn't starting until January. I think January 3rd is the first new show that I know of. Um, uh, and I know that Heya Camp is January 6th. So I'm keeping my eye on new stuff. But if you're looking for something for the end of the year to get to kind of dive into, check out Welcome to Demon Schools on Crunchyroll. And I think it's good. I should say, because I don't say it that often, so I'll put it out there, that I have a gifted Verve account. I do not pay for Verve. It is gifted to me, which allows me to watch shows on Crunchyroll for free. And I only mention that because it does not sway what I say. I mean, I'm honest about shows that I like and don't like. I hope you know that. But it is important for me to say that, like, in the same way that if I ever get sponsored on the stream, someone like, hey, build this kit because we bought it for you, we're a company, then, like, you would know that. And whatever. Like, I try to make sure that people know uh, what's up. So. I haven't said it on the stream in a while, so I felt like it was a good time to just mention that I do not pay for my Crunchyroll access. Speaking of Crunchyroll, the last show I'll talk about is My Hero Academia. The fight scenes have been really great. I don't want to talk about Toga. I don't want to talk about Toga, y'all. God, that character creeps me out. I had a brief conversation with someone today about shonen and how often in shonen women characters are either motherly or overly sexual and just boobs. She was talking about the person I was talking to was talking about how she got to the point in Fire Force where there's just a character whose thing is that her clothes come off, which is a true thing and sucks, and is a real bummer about the show. And one of the reasons why it is a thing that you have to mention when you talk about the show. And we had a kind of conversation about like shows like Hunter x Hunter. There's like two female characters that really stand out as being like badass and cool, um, and that which is a bummer, like a real fucking bummer. Um, But in Shonen in general, if you look at like Shonen Jump, there's so few female characters in that video game, and it's like it's a real problem with the genre. Um, and in My Hero, like they're awesome characters, but they're support characters. Uh, the most important characters in Minetta's life are not female characters. The people he looks up to. That's just what the reality of the anime is, which is really frustrating. Even like Demon Slayer, which has like the least problematic characters in it. Um, in fact, there's only there's one character's biggest flaw is that he's a flirt, and people call him out on it, which is nice. Um, but the women in that show, well, the most well-known woman in that show is kind of childlike because she is a demon. She has been turned into a demon and is kind of childlike, as I said, and it's a bit frustrating. Um, I I talk about Black Clover, which I really do genuinely think Black Clover rules. And one of the things I like about Black Clover is that the female characters in the show have agency and have things they want to accomplish and what they want to do. I think Noelle has been given character growth that a lot of the male characters haven't gotten. Like I think they spend a lot more time on Noelle than they do Luck or Magna or a lot of the other supporting characters. She's given time to explore and to grow and to find herself. And even though she is annoyingly like tsundere, she's like embarrassingly like obviously tsundere, and like it's not my favorite. I mean, that's never going to be my favorite trope, but I think it's handled better. And you see like Gray, who we don't even know is female for much of the beginning of the show, and then we learn things about her. And Charmy, who is just like a fun support character, but who has been given depth and now has this whole extra thing added where she's part uh, um, dwarf and doesn't know what that means. It doesn't know how that happened, and has this whole extra magic thing happening that she doesn't have any clue of. And then Vanessa, who I like Vanessa more as the show goes on, but like if I was going to recommend Black Clover, I would have to tell people, hey, one of the Black Bulls dresses provocatively and is flirty and a drunk. And there's reasons for that, but it also is a thing that I have to tell you before you just watch it and see it. And like that's the thing. In the same way that I have to be like, hey, the worst part of Black Clover is there's a character who is played for laughs who is overtly friendly and cares very much about his younger sister and is definitely a siscon and it's an awful part of the show because it's played for laughs and he is the Moneta of the team. Uh, and I was trying to think about this. As I said, Black Clover, there is one dude is a flirt and he's annoying, and then he doesn't get called out on it, but it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to change his behavior. I don't think there's a character in Naruto in like the villagers and like the students, like the young people that Naruto comes up with. I don't think there's a character in there that is a problem, and that's very rare for shonen. I mean, like Ninji is annoying, and like there's characters that are like not my favorites, like that I don't have any like really care too much about. Uh, and like maybe I feel like we spent a little too much time on Choji being a crybaby. Maybe felt a little like that felt a little long, but overall, like that's a that Naruto might be the last like shonen without like a really problematic main like character or like supporting cast in the supporting shonen crew. Just surprising to think about. Because like, I, uh, yeah, I think so. Because like One Piece, I mean, One Piece is just basically on the manga just deciding that it's a time skip. It's time to just draw everyone inappropriately. Because Brook isn't great, but he's not like comparatively. Brook is not a problem. He's not great, and his constant requests to see people's underwear isn't great at all, but it's not the worst. Oh, Between the Bricks is now rating with a party of 12. Hello and welcome. Hi, welcome everybody. Welcome to the stream. We're working on the Batman Batwing and Riddler Heist Lego set. Welcome. We were talking about some anime stuff. Right now we're working on a kit. Welcome. Happy to have you here. Um, I am currently in South Carolina. Hi, I'm doing good. I'm currently in South Carolina visiting my folks for the holidays. My normal build stream is not this normally. I have a green screen and it's my overhead camera isn't on a weird angle. I'm running off a laptop here in the spare bedroom at my folks' place. So this is not my optimal setup, and I hope that's okay with y'all. We are working on this Lego set here, and it has been a fun build so far. We've been talking about holiday stuff and anime, and because it's towards the end of the year, so people are shows are running out, things are finishing up. Uh, New season doesn't start till January, so we got a little time before things kick off with the new season. I've been talking a little bit about the new season. I listed a bunch of shows I'm going to try watching, but I have a feeling I'm not going to watch all of them. Like, am I going to watch Heya Camp, the side story for Laid Back Camp? Of course I'm going to watch that. There's no question that I won't watch about that. Laid Back Camp was my favorite show of 2018. I'm definitely going to watch the spin-off show. I know myself. I'm going to watch Senton Academy. The idea of a human that doesn't like animals goes to a school that's all humanoid animals. I'm probably gonna watch that. Like I know myself. I get me pretty well. that sounds like a show that I'm gonna check out. Uh, what else is coming out next season though? My life is a villainess. All routes lead to doom. My life is a villainess is another one of those isekai that just can't be like, well, it's a person that died and came to a different world. They have to have their twist on it. Their twist on it is that it's somebody who wakes up and realizes that they had another life before, and that the life they've been living has actually been an evil character in like a dating sim or like a visual novel, I should say, more than a dating sim. And the lead character has the realization, oh, I'm the bad person and I die in this story. And so it's her trying to like change it and figure things out. Andy, Merry Christmas to you. So I'm gonna check that out. I've heard the manga for My Next Life as a Villainess is good, so I'm gonna check that out. Uh, Oda Cinnamon. I don't know if I'm gonna watch Oda Cinnamon. I mean, the idea of a what's his name? Nobugata being reincarnated as a Shiba Inu sounds just silly in a way that I definitely need to check out. And it's a bunch of dogs that have been reincarnated, or famous warlords and leaders of history being reincarnated as dogs. Sounds just like a thing I need to watch. I mean, will it be good? I'm sure it won't be. Maybe it'll be fun though. I don't know. Like, sure, I'll check that out. Um, these are all coming out in January, by the way. By the way, uh, what's the other one? Quintessential Quintuplets. I didn't love the first season, but I liked the first season. It's a romantic comedy. I'm kind of interested to see where it goes. Uh, Science Fell in Love, so I tried to prove it. That one sounds fun. That's another romantic show about what is it's a science club, like an after school science club that is trying to use the scientific method to prove or disprove love. And that could be cute. Maybe it won't be. Maybe it'll be gross, and I'll be like, nope, never mind. You never really know. Uh, but I'm excited for new shows, and of course, uh, um, the some of the shows that will be continuing that I've been watching, including uh, We Never Learn has one more episode. Um, uh, I believe that uh, Food Wars has one more episode. And then yeah, there's a few things that are going. Welcome to Demon School is a double length, so that'll keep going. So I do have a few things that are going to keep going, which is nice. Let me do this so you can see. All right, it's more fun. We're applying a decal. I'm going to try to do it with my hand here. I don't have my tools because I am not in my own home. I am, as I said, at my parents' visiting. But their internet got a lot better than it used to be, and so I can stream, which is just so nice. Just so happy to be able to do that. Was worried because I am here. I got in yesterday and I'm here till Saturday, and I was like, oh, that's a whole week of not streaming. I don't like that. For those curious, my next stream will be on Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern as the normal build time. Thursday at 9 p.m. I should say, as I normally build. And yeah, nothing on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, but we'll do Boxing Day. And I'll talk about some presents or stuff or gifts maybe. I don't know if we're going to talk about that. We'll talk about what you got, if you got anything fun, cool, and you want to talk about that in chat. And then keep working on this Lego set. We're going to go for a little bit here. Basically, I'm going to finish this and then I'm going to log off. So it might not be the full 2 hours tonight, but what I don't want to do is just do this a lot and then only have like 30 minutes of building for Thursday because I only brought this one kit because what I didn't want to do was pack a lot of stuff, bring a lot of stuff with me, and then not be able to stream and just look at it for several days being depressed about how I couldn't do a build stream, which happened 2 years ago. Same Pat time, same Pat channel, indeed. Um, but yeah, I figured, hey, if I couldn't stream when I got here, well, I would just have this one Lego set. No big deal if that didn't work out. But luckily, it did work out, and we were able to stream. Um, also, somebody asked, I can't remember who asked that the other day. Was like, are you going to bring like your model kit stuff to work on? Because I've been working on a Quanta, which is a really cool model kit. Uh, to which I was like, no, I'm not going to bring tools. I'm not going to put. You know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to try to get on a plane with snipper clips. Now maybe my folks have something here I could use, but that was not on the table. That was not a possibility. I was like, no, Lego sets only. Also, only for Lego sets, I just have to put stuff in a bag, and especially as I said with this kit allows me to have smaller things that I can put in my suitcase, and it won't be a big deal. And then also, if they do come apart, they'll be easier to fix than if I built like a big Batmobile. I'm sure if it's checked, it's fine, right? So I'm sure that it totally could be. Now, I also um, I don't check bags. I just do carry on for a trip like this. But also, uh, it's totally possible that yeah, it could have been a problem. Ended up being fine. Uh, I'm just paranoid about that stuff. Uh, it was actually really nice in August. Whatever reason, the flight I had. Oh no, it was to Seattle. Seattle. The flight I had in Seattle. I had to check a bag. There was no overhead. So I had to check it, and I knew ahead of time that I was going to have to check it. So I took like the biggest suitcase I had, and then I put all my electronics like in there. And my backpack just had my laptop and a charger, its charger, and then like a phone charger in it. And I didn't have to bring all my gear in. I usually have I have a bunch of Ziploc bags, and I just put all my electronic stuff in Ziploc bags, and then just take them out and whatever. Um, so it was really, so it's really nice to have that and just be like, all right, hey, check these one things. Okay, check this. Um, that was really helpful. But most of the time, I just do, carry on. One carry on suitcase, a backpack. That's my general mode of transportation. Also, the traveling here to see my folks, like if I need to, I can use the washing machine. And that's helpful. It's very helpful to just have the ability to be like, oh yeah, let me just wash my clothes. That's like a nice thing you don't get when you're traveling all the time. All right. Okay, so we've got our helicopter here. We'll move this off here. So we got the Riddler's helicopter. We've got we got to build the safe that he is stealing, but we're not done with the helicopter. So oops. We have most of the helicopter done. We still have to put on the weapons. I assume these are supposed to be weapons. And chains. A chain. Well, the chain is there for the safe that we are heisting. Because this is the heist. This is the Riddler heist, folks. Don't get it twisted. That's what we're here for. Here for this heist. Thanks again to everybody who's watching the stream. As I said, my next stream will be on Thursday, but I'm still hanging out here. We got Harold after 10 p.m. because it is because Harold is on vacation. So we got a late night Harold or summer Harold. That's fun. I just realized that when you wrote St. Pat time. There is central heat in this apartment instead of radiator heat, and there is a difference, and it is affecting my voice, and it is something that I'm like very aware of, and I'm trying to be like, okay, cool. I have to remind myself. 2 weeks vacation, Harold. Congratulations. Enjoy it, my friend. You work hard, and you should be able to play hard. Uh, but yeah, I am. I am trying to be aware of like it's not much of a temperature change really. It's warmer here than it is in New York, certainly, but it's not super warm. It's actually been a little bit of a cold front, so I kind of just have to like be cool about that. But it was nice because I was able to wear my Crunchyroll hoodie that I got from Crunchyroll events because I worked at Anime NYC with them. Uh, got a very comfortable hoodie, very nice quality. Happy to have that. Uh, all right. And as I said, I got my new Giant Bomb shirt, which I'm wearing because not dealing with a green screen here. This would probably not be great on the green screen. All right. Also, my webcam here, I can't zoom. Zooming is literally me moving the camera or moving the laptop. There might be some software I can do to play around with it, but as far as I can tell, I do not have any options when it comes to that. So I'm like, okay, whatever. As I said, I'm here until Saturday. I leave like it's like a 5 o'clock flight, which is great because it means I get to, which is not ideal. Believe me, I would have much rather had like a early morning flight on Sunday, but I ended up Saturday night. Um, so my folks and I will like get up at a reasonable time and like hang out, and we'll go and eat on the road and take our time getting there. And I'll get in and check in. I like to get early to the airport. That is my deal. Uh, as my friend says, you get to the airport early, your vacation starts early. And while I agree with that, generally, in my mind, you get to the airport early, you don't have a problem with security. Because it's only when you're running late or barely on time or I think I'm going to make it, if everything works out, that's when the security line is awful. Do I think the security line Saturday at 5 p.m. is going to be too bad at the airport I'm going to? Not really, but it will be. Is any trip to the airport really a vacation? Yeah, I mean, like you just try to minimize it, right? You do your best. Do you seek the general advice? I've heard of 2 hours early for domestic, 3 for national. Last week, I haven't flown international in a while, so I can't really comment for that. But I am a 2 hours now. I have amended that for my own personal sake. It used to be 2 hours from when the plane takes off. I have now amended that from 2 hours to when the gates open because it feels like, in general, airlines are very, very focused on that door closing. And so I now arrive 2 hours before before the doors open and you can start boarding. That is my go-to. Now, sometimes that's fine. I actually do a little bit more. Like, if I fly out, like, let's say I go to Seattle, right, for PAX, and I'm flying out on Tuesday, I'll give it more because I know that there's a lot of people using that airport uh, on that Tuesday. Monday night, it might be a little easier. Or if I'm flying out Monday afternoon or whatever, that might be a little better. This Saturday, I'll give it 2 hours and it'll be fine. And what I'll do is I'll eat before I get on the plane and I'll relax and I'll sit and I'll like maybe like get a podcast going. I know the food options there, so I know where to go because the airport I'm going to on Saturday, I've been to a bunch. I'll get some food. I'll check in. Feeling rushed in the TSA line is bad for a number of reasons, and obviously, as a cis white guy, male, I run into far less issues getting through security. My number one getting through security is that my passport photo, I have hair, which I do not have. As you can see, do not have hair. But my passport photo, I have hair. But I also look like I do in the photo, just with hair. So that's not really an issue. It's never been an issue. I know other folks have much more issues when it comes to security and stuff, but especially since the new TSA thing of like adding in a space for the dog to just hang out as you walk through it, like that just adds more time now, and it adds a lot more confusion. And people are like, "What's this? What's going on with this dog?" It's not in every major airport, but it's in a lot of airports, and it is like people are not used to it yet. It's a new thing that they're not used to. Not a single dropped frame, my friends. I am loving this. This is so nice. Obviously, the bit rate isn't as high as my normal standard, uh, but I'm been very pleased with the what we've got going on here on the stream. Ooh, we got jewels. We have jewels here, and we have uh, thing. Apparently, these are supposed to be stacks of money. We got stacks of money and jewels to put in our safe. Gonna put those in there. Put them in our safe that was stolen. It's about to be stolen. All right, so then we'll get these going here. But yeah, I haven't run into too many issues. As I said, it's not like flying is fun, but it's a thing, and we gotta do it. And if you want to get to places, you just do your best. And then, oh, we gotta put a. So we're gonna put a stick. We're putting a sticker on this to make it look like this is. Oops. I'm gonna put a sticker on here to make it look like this is the dial. And if our lock picking skills are high enough, then we can just easily pick this lock. Eric, got a sticker stuck on me that I'm going to wait on. This is the one I might do a couple times because I don't know if I'm going to nail it. No, I did not nail it. All right, so, and this is the one. This is, I said like, oh, it doesn't really matter how they look and blah, blah, but this shouldn't look terrible. No one's going to really look at it up close, but I want it to look good. You know what I mean? I'm so glad I got some fancy noise canceling headphones for the last flights. I had earbuds the time before, and I think it really messed up my hearing for a while. So I don't love connection flights because it is one of my ears generally, one of the two will not, won't pop when I fly. No matter what I do, it just won't. So it's that thing of like landing, and eventually it will, and the pressure will pressurize, and it'll be fine, and I won't be in any discomfort. But it's that thing of like when you have the connection and you have to go back up again, that's when I get headaches, and that's when it's bad. And it's not the same ear every time. It's whatever ear was not, because I'm in an aisle, so it's whatever ear was not directly being hit by the pressurized air coming at you. So perfect world, I'd sit in the middle seat and it would just come down. But since I sit in the aisle, depending on which aisle I'm in, is how I'm going to be comfortable on that flight. One year I had it really bad. It was like days before my ear. I was trying everything. I have had some, but not a lot of success with doing nasal spray before getting on a plane. As I said, it hasn't been it's worked out pretty good. I definitely do it when I have flight like connections, when I have to connect then I definitely do that. But I don't do it all the time. All right, so we put that on there, put that in there. Now we're going to put this on here, this there, and this there. Now we got a safe. We're going to put a piece of the bottom here. But yeah, I don't, I don't hate flying. I kind of go, I kind of just like, okay, you do this, okay, you do that. All right, you're gonna do whatever. We're gonna get things done. Okay, like I'm pretty. I do make sure that I usually grab a bunch of shirts that I like wearing, blah blah whatever. Try not to fly with anything that says giant bomb on it, like this shirt. I wouldn't fly with it. I do have one other giant bomb shirt with me for this week. I'm making sure that I'm not wearing it on Saturday when I get on a plane. I'll wear a wrestling shirt that is fine to wear. I normally fly out wearing a shirt that says extra strong on it. Extra strong. I do not know quite why, but folks in the airline industry really like that shirt. I have come to find. I get it; it's a great shirt, but somebody always has a comment about it, a positive comment, I should say. Okay, so we got the Riddler is here stealing there. We've got for some reason Commissioner Gordon is leading the high-speed chase in his police vehicle, and Batman is here. We haven't built the Batwing yet. That's next. We're also to build, as I said, we're gonna build Shazam. But I don't know what. I don't think my GB shirts have Giant Bomb written on them. Yeah, well that'll help. I also used to have, my favorite is the one that had like giant in kanji and it just said bomb, and I was like, yeah, you can't fly with that. The ranking of fighters shirt is a fine shirt to fly in, or the one that just says old games. I'm sure that people would like that. So we got a few extra parts here that I'm going to put in our bag that we use to keep the extra parts in. And we do have a Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern will be my next stream. I hope you can join me for that. Thank you very much for joining me here tonight. We're going to wrap things up because I did finish this. We got 2 more bags to go. We're going to take all these parts here and we're going to build a Batwing, which is fun. I really want to build that. I'm excited to build it. Thanks for the stream, Pat. Happy holidays. Yeah, I won't fly with my... Oh, yes, yeah. Yes, your H-Bomb and Friends shirts. Yeah, that wouldn't work. But thank you all for being here. I hope you have a great holiday. I hope you have a great Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, or I hope you have a great Tuesday or Wednesday. I hope you're having a great Hanukkah. I hope you're having a fantastic Kwanzaa. Or it is just the end of December and there are not a lot of people around, and it's just easier for you to go get a cup of coffee when you want to go get a cup of coffee. Have a great rest of your evening. I will see you on Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to run an ad, and if you don't see an ad, then you're just seeing my pre-show image. And enjoy that. Bye-bye.